everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal, your regular Tuesday night show at 5 p.m. How's Denise and Ron doing?
We're worried sick about Clover. She was lethargic. And so we're trying to figure out, they got her at the hospital trying to figure out what's wrong. So
Oh,
um,
now what do
she,
you mean by
Yep.
what you said?
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Ron? So yeah, so she's basically just laying around. She's just not doing all the stuff. You know how she bounces off the ceiling all
Uh-huh.
the time. No, and so little worried about her. She hit her head. From what I understand, she was not.
Got
Ruby
a pretty
pushed her.
bad concussion then.
Yeah, she's throwing up, all that stuff. But they said that Ruby pushed her, basically where I'm sitting, pushed her really hard, and at that little, maybe it's shaken baby,
Oh,
from because if he's 5, he doesn't realize how strong he is. So I'm very worried and stuff. Can you hear us, Ron? Okay.
nope, I guess he can't.
I don't know he may have to restart the computer, plug the mic in and restart the computer. But
Mm-hmm.
he he's never done StreamYard on his own. It's always been me.
Right.
So, and I'm over, as you can see, I'm not at home.
Yeah, you're at the kids' house.
So, well, Ruby didn't want to come home. If he had wanted to come home, I would have been there. It's just he's
He-
just
He's
not wanting to
upset,
be
isn't
there.
he?
Yeah,
Because
he's upset.
Sissy's not there and knows. Does he know she's in the hospital?
He knows that they took her to the hospital.
Does he realize
So,
what a hospital is? He's calling you.
no.
Gives a shit.
Oh,
It- it's it's probably a political call. So,
probably.
so can you hear us yet, Ron?
Did he go to the
Hey,
settings down below?
yes, there is no audio. There is no choice for audio for him.
Hmm.
So, um,
And your
only
little
mic
speaker down
volume.
on the side. How does yours work? If you click on it, it gives me two options. It gives me my Yeti or my Realtek speaker out of the computer.
Yeah, Ron, go down, see if you got. You know what? Maybe I can share my
Hi,
screen.
Jeremy. Facebook
Um,
user. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, to get permission to use your name, then we'll know who you are.
oh, I can't do that.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, you're sharing this out. If anybody's got any questions in the paranormal, feel free to ask them in there. This is a Q&A night tonight because we're going to go until about 6:30, and then we're shutting this show down and bringing up Conservative View, and we're covering the elections all night. Hi, Robin.
Hey, hey, Ron, here's an option. I know you can hear. Well, you can't hear me. Why am I telling you?
No, he
So,
can't hear us. We can hear him.
yeah. So I was going to share my screen, but it's just that it just, it's horrible. So
Right,
let me call him back and tell him what I think he might need to do.
right. But anyway,
So I'm
folks,
going
thank you for
to,
joining us tonight. We're having technical difficulties with Ron at the computer there tonight. So, like I said, tonight's a Q&A. We don't have any guests coming on. You like this background, Jeremy? Thank you. Yeah, StreamYard lets you got this one on there. I downloaded this one and stuff. So, Jeremy, I hope you're doing fine. I haven't heard much about how you're doing after your surgery. I heard you said something about getting ready for 2 implants. Okay, Robin. Robin has a question here. I'll bring it up. Denise will see it and Ron will see it. What was your most memorable experience you had and at a location you can't wait to go back to? Oh, let's see. Actually, the cemetery that we take care of, that I'll go back to again, down there where I heard the horses walking and I heard them whinnying from the soldiers riding in that other people have seen. That's one of my most memorable. Denise, what's your most memorable experience you had at a location you can't wait to go back to?
Mm, I'd say, uh, well, McPike. I'm always going back to McPike, back to McPike. So I have to go with that, and hopefully, hopefully I get to go again. Things keep messing with me when it's time to go. Um, I would like to go back to the Sally House one more time, only
I
to
would
see
too.
if it's still cleared and what's there now. What has
Right.
been conjured since we left? That's
Exactly. Because
kind of one of the things.
when we was there, things happened. I know you got scratched a bunch of times, chair thrown at you, different things, almost pushed down one time. Um, I got attacked upstairs in the nursery, got scratched and everything. But yeah, I'd love to go back again and spend another night there just to see if the same is there at what used to be there.
You're right. I know it's not the same, but what's different?
I
What's
want to see if it
because
got worse.
the last time we were there was nothing there. I mean, we spent 3 weeks going and nothing, nothing,
Hmm.
nothing. So it just makes you wonder. You know, do did it last more? I mean, we know it lasted more than 3 weeks. Did it last more than 3 months? They always say it comes in threes. And
Yeah.
Tony said every time somebody had come to the house to clear the house, it would last 3 weeks or 3 months. You know,
Hmm.
is this one gonna last? Did this one last 3 years? I won't know because I haven't been there. So
Right.
let's see if Ron's got sound.
Can you hear us?
Hey, can you hear us,
Hello.
Ron? My guess is
Houston
no.
calling Ron. Houston calling Ron.
Uh,
Huh?
We'll go get some ice.
And grab some milk because that's bad. Okay.
yeah, I don't know what to do for him. And without me
Yeah.
being able to see his computer, I can't do anything. So this might be an even shorter show than we thought.
Who?
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
We hear you.
Jeremy says reboot the computer. We already tried that, Jeremy.
Yeah, we tried that with the headset plugged in,
Denise
and
usually does it at the house, and she's at her kids' house right now. Ron's never done it there. Ron's got his tablet though, right?
n- he does have my tablet there,
Okay, just have him get on the tablet, go to StreamYard, or give him the link and have him
which is
click
what I
on it.
did. Yeah, that's what I. Well, he could go to StreamYard and just be me. When it comes up, it'll just be me.
Yeah,
So
we can change his name. That ain't no problem.
right. Let
Can you hear me?
me.
Okay, try that. Call him.
So
We'll
I'm
get
gonna mute
Ron on
again.
here,
Hello?
people. But yeah, if anybody's got any
I
questions,
can hear
and
you
stuff,
guys, but
yeah, she's calling you, Ron. Get ready. Okay, next question. Facebook user, we don't know who you are, but we'll ask it anyway. What is your idea of a great team leader? I've had recent issues and I just want to do the right thing and lead our team to the right direction. Well, I'm the leader of our team. Oh, Christopher. Okay, great, Christopher. Yeah, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook on a tab there and give them permission to use your name, it'll come up on there. But the idea of a team leader is you get along with everybody you got in there, for starters, assign them a position in that team, and like with me and my pastor, we do the, I set up all the equipment and everything. He does a lot of the investigations. Um, I do too. And after that, he'll download some of the evidence that we have. I'll download the most of it and go through it and send it back. And then we combine both of them together and look at them. But you have to get along with everybody. You don't need drama in a team for starters. So hopefully that helps you out, Christopher. But add it to it if I may. Yeah, you can, Jeremy. Jeremy, do you feel like coming on? Okay, we had actually got rid of the drama and they had been permanently banned on the team vote. Oh, really? Okay. That's the way to do it. Anthony, Texas
Nope.
Wrath Hunters. How far is far? Yeah. Well, I'm in Missouri.
Unmute. Say something.
Yeah, that's right. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello, Ron. Can you hear me?
No.
So my best guess is that we're not having a show tonight.
Okay.
So it's
Well,
just this is
if you
just
guys
too
need to
hard.
click off, I'll keep it going. I've got people over here asking some questions.
You know what? If I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna get
Okay.
Ruby and go home, and I'll get Ron up over there, and we'll be on over there. So I'll
Okay.
see
Well,
you in a
if
little
you
bit.
need to stay there with Ruby, it's no problem, Denise.
Ruby just didn't want to go. He can come home or go to my house. So, Ron, if can you hear us, Ron?
Nope, he
Okay.
can't hear us.
So let me do this. Um,
Okay.
let me see if I can go to private chat. Maybe he won't know that. uh,
That's all right, Jeremy. But Anthony, let's see here. I mean, what boundary should a group not cross? Well,
I'll see you in a little bit.
okay. In my opinion, the group, your team, and everything.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can now?
Yeah. All of a sudden, I didn't do anything.
Okay. Call Denise and tell her to stay where she's at. She was coming home to set you up.
Nah. I didn't. I swear I didn't do nothing. But unplug this headset.
Right.
That was all I did.
It was a headset, that's what Jeremy said too. But
I unplugged the headset and then I could hear Carl talking and I said, "Can you hear me?" He goes, "Yeah."
right.
Yep. Goodbye headset. Or I don't know. I'm gonna leave it plugged in.
Okay. We got a question up here, Ron. This is from Christopher Pittman. How does a person leave their soul open for demons to come in?
It's probably more for Gary. But
Yeah, that's a good one for Pastor Gary or Denise, either one. But you always, before you go into an investigation, you always got to have some protection, a prayer or whatever. Um, You never want to have anybody drunk on your investigation. That opens them up for demons to come in, or on drugs. And we'll wait and see what kind of answer Denise has got for this question.
Okay. How does a person leave their soul open for demons? Okay, so there's a couple ways to do that. First one is, thanks. They say that meditating can do that.
Yeah.
Basically clearing your mind of everything, that you're opening yourself up. You should never go into any place completely open. That's the first thing. Because if you do, you're just saying, hey, I'm an open vessel. It's like people
Yeah. It's
saying
just saying,
dolls.
come on in, you know.
Yeah. It's just like people saying dolls are haunted, things like that. It's the same thing. You're an empty vessel. Guess what? What do we do with empty things? We put stuff in them. So, and demons are no different. Another way that, people leave their soul open for demons to come in is making a deal.
Yeah.
Whether it's unconsciously or consciously. One of the things that they do unconsciously that they don't even think about, and Ron's heard me say this before, is like there is a guy, I'm not going to say his name, who has all these sigils, and he says, this one's for luck, and this one's for love, and this one's for money. And if you stare at it with your intention to get money, love, luck, whatever it is, you're making a deal with the devil whether you think you are or not. So you're letting demons in at that point in time. So
Right.
keep that in mind. Nothing's free out there.
Exactly.
And if somebody's giving you something for nothing, you better be wondering what the strings are that are attached.
Right. And here's another question from Anthony, who is part of Texas Race Hunters down there. Why are so many people scared of the Ouija board? The spirit box is the same.
Not well.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Same as, you can go with dowsing rods as well. Dowsing,
Yeah. You can
they're
go
all
with a pendulum.
they're all divination devices.
Hi, Brandon.
And
Hey,
people
Brandon.
get scared for a lot of reasons. But media is the biggest one, and stupidity is the other. People are stupid and they do dumb things. Again, letting stuff in that they don't, and if they don't know how to use something, don't use it. Same as I saw something today, made me laugh, but it's true. You got 3 baby daddies, you can't pick a man, don't go vote.
Exactly.
You're going to pick wrong anyway. We already know this. You've done it. So thank you, David Glidden, for that.
Whatever you open up, you make sure you close.
Yeah.
Whether
you don't leave the refrigerator open.
Whether it be a spirit box, whether it be dowsing rods, anything you use that'll open up a portal.
Intent.
Is what they call it. Intent. Yeah.
The thing is you're not going to leave your refrigerator standing open all day. You're going to close it. It's the same thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I've never used a Ouija board. I've never needed to. And I'm from the home of the Ouija board, Baltimore. That's where it was first created.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't have any need to ever use one. Do I use dowsing rods? Used to. I have a whole buttload of them.
Right.
But again, it's no different. That technically a medium talking to spirits is a divination device.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, there's dice, there's runes, there's all these other things. It's not just the Ouija board. It's not just the spirit box.
But that was a good point that he put up there.
Mm-hmm.
Ouija boards, they have a bad name. Mm-hmm. I won't mess with one, but we had one when I was little with kids playing it. It was a toy.
That's what it says.
I never seen it move. I never seen anything go like that. So, but now.
And how much of it's real? Let's be honest. How much of it is real? Well, how much isn't the intent in your mind wanting it to go to yes or no, to be something horrible? There is no demon Zozo or Oz. No, neither way. Just because you're making it go across the board, there is no demon named Zozo.
On TV.
Yeah,
It does.
that's it. It's entertainment. It's entertainment.
Paratainment.
That's the same
So-
thing as one of these are.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, they're a device to use and everything if you're not a psychic and can't hear them. But if I do it down here, it doesn't get the same effect if I'm on TV unless I bring it up and show them what I'm talking on. That's what it means. But I was going to tell you on No BS with Chris the other night, he was talking about an experiment they did years ago with Ouija boards. They had 3 different groups of people and put them in 3 different rooms before they put them on a Ouija board. One room, they played music to relax you on a TV. The next room, they played news channel all the time for them. The next room, they played sports, stuff like that, or showed them horror movies. When they came out and put them on the Ouija boards, of course, the ones that watched the horror movie, they started moving around like crazy because they already had it in their mind something was going to scare them. The ones that was watching the news, they was worried about what's going on, so their hands started moving it. The ones that were in the mellow, relaxed room set out there, the pendulum didn't move once.
Mhm.
So there again, a lot of it is if you lay a Ouija board out and you get 4 people out there that's heard all the horror stories about Ouija boards, right? Yeah, that thing's going to move. They're going to make it move subconsciously, is what they're going to do. But we have another question here that says, and this from Christopher again, is it true that when you go to an investigation that a spirit can be latched onto you, and how old is that occur to happen? How I'd
You
say
know,
it, how often is that to occur to happen?
yeah. My hey Tom, uh, you know, how do you know that the spirit attached to it at the haunted location? Why couldn't it have attached to you at your home and followed you there?
Or on the way?
That's or on the way at Taco Bell. You know, or Taco John's if you're in Atchison. But oh Ruby, and
Well, look at how many investigators got to drive 3 or 4 hours to an investigation.
yeah,
What is on their mind when they're driving?
getting there.
They've already looked up stuff about where they're going
Mhm.
99% of the time, right? So if they're thinking about it, anywhere they would stop, anywhere they're driving down to, evil could attach to them at any given time because they've
Oh yeah,
opened their mind up to it. They're expecting to see this. They're expecting to this to happen.
yeah, they
Like
are, and not
Jeremy
only
said
that.
here, a lot of people go into places with the wrong intent, whether they realize it or not. And that's true.
Well, one of the things that they do on their remember on the show last night we were talking about, when we go on trips, we look for all these places to stop along the way. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of one of those, hey, this may be the last time I go. I want to stop here and do this, or this. Maybe that's, they're thinking about that. You just don't know where you're going to might possibly get an attachment. It could
Yeah.
be stopping at Walmart for batteries that somebody,
Spirits follow you
again,
everywhere.
yeah, think about it. Remember what Michael said, Michael Norton, the other day.
Mhm.
Somebody could have put a curse on all the food at Walmart.
Yeah.
All the things. You don't know who's walking through there that hates everybody.
Yeah.
You don't know.
That
So
has that, I won't say a gift, but has that ability to do it. Yeah, they could walk in there. Well, we know today everybody's going to walk in and get paper towels. It's barbecue weekend. All the paper towels are, they could put a hex on it, and anybody that picks one up, it goes home with them.
Yep. Hell, they don't even have to buy it.
Right.
So
They can
think
walk
about
down
it from
the
that
aisle.
standpoint. So that's the standpoint that I take. I don't touch anything in the store unless I plan on bringing it home. Farah, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember Farah Rose. She
Hmm.
blesses everything she brings into her. As soon as she gets it out of the store, she blesses it before she puts it in the car.
It's not a
That way
bad
she doesn't run
idea,
any
really.
chances.
Not a bad idea.
No, it isn't. I mean, it's yours at this point. You paid for it. It's yours. Now it's up to you to do whatever you can with it.
Hi,
She can't
Caitlin.
bless everything in the grocery store, for everybody, but she
Right.
can she can
Then
bless everything on.
Anthony asks, how can crystals have power if you have to charge them? Then that means that we have the power. What do you think?
Well, it depends on how you charge them. Some of them you charge in salt water, some of them you charge in plain water, some of them you charge with the moon, some with the sun. It's no
Most
different
of them are
than, I
charged
guess,
anyway.
yeah. Ow. But the thing is we have to charge our cell phone that for it to have power. So it's no different than that. But it all goes back to what you believe. Do you believe that these crystals are charged because of this? I haven't seen any. I'm going to use the word proof. I haven't seen any proof that crystals have any charge at all unless they're magnetic or
Yeah.
if they light up some way, because I have seen some that light
Uh-huh.
on their own, but they just light on their own. I've never recharged them. I've never, it's the same as my hematite. It's
We never
magnetic.
used them.
So yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
not big.
know.
I'm not big on crystals.
Yeah,
You
I
Right.
know,
don't
And
I think they're pretty.
think we've
Christopher
ever
asked here,
investigated one.
my
That ever-
dog barks in the hallway and at the front mantel in the living room. Could it possibly be that he sees my dad?
He does see your
He
dad.
sees something.
Seeing something.
Yeah.
Chris, your dad is there all the time. And if he's not with you, he's with your sister.
Here's a very good question from Tom. Once spirits cross over, do they ever return to be with us?
Yes.
Yep.
I have to say yes.
Yeah.
And I've
Because
seen
I
it.
know Sue, Pastor Gary's wife, who passed away. I know she crossed over. I definitely know that.
Right.
But yet she has come back to the house
Oh, yeah.
several times and everything. So I definitely say yes
Yeah,
to that.
they visit.
Oh, Ron's dad visits his mom all the time.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why he wants to do it while she's taking a bath, but to
I
each
know
his
why.
own.
Well, I think when we cross, my opinion is when we cross over, they give us permission to come back to watch over the loved ones or to send a message to somebody that they didn't get to when they were alive.
My belief on that is that we get to choose free will. I don't think free will leaves us when we die. If we go to heaven, I believe that we can come back as needed, as we want, just like you said, Carl. I don't think that because of free will, there's no way to stop us. And I think God knows it.
Mm-hmm.
He has to. I mean, why do we have Lucifer? Free will. He just, yeah, God cast him out of heaven, but he made his own decisions to get cast out. So, right?
Right.
So he can't go back to heaven, though. That's a whole different ballgame. So, unless you watch Supernatural, and then he did, but that's a whole different thing. And I saw up here, Jeremy, when you said, I hope she doesn't get $400 in grocery orders, that's only 2 bags now. So,
Well, I gotta say a little different. You guys get up here sometime. We gotta take you up to the Amish Jamesport grocery store. We went up there. First time I've been in a grocery store in probably 3 months. Okay. Tammy usually goes up here to the local store and comes home with 2 bags and how much she spent. Oh my God. We went up there, we filled a grocery cart completely full. And I'm going, oh, it's going to cost,
Where was that at?
in Jamesport.
Oh, Jamesport. Okay.
Right. Just right up here from Gallatin. We got in there. We bought meat. We bought canned goods. oatmeal, you name it. We had all kinds of big items in there, right? It filled up 4 banana boxes completely full, and we had 4 plastic bags full, and we spent $149.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
I could have got a New York strip, bulk strip that you cut for your New York strips. And
Hmm.
I believe it was 12 pounds, 12 or 13 pounds, a good size one for $58.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I could have
Wow.
got every bit of 8 1 inch, maybe 10 1 inch New York strips out of it and then smoked the rest of it and made it into burnt ends.
That's one of my favorite things, burnt
I
ends.
know. That's why you guys ever get up here and stuff. We got to take you up to that store. You'll fall in love with it.
There's the
What's
on
Hearts
the
Please?
huh?
What's Hearts Please? Who did you write that?
It's yes, I did because
Yeah.
hearts get us
Heart
moved up. It
Hearts
throws
changes
the
Facebook's
Oh,
algorithm.
oh, Facebook thing.
it
Yeah,
changes the algorithm.
it does.
So
Tells you
now
how
if they
much they
put
know
angry
about
yeah, if they put
liberal.
angry faces, it changes the algorithm too, and but not for good. So
Okay,
which
and like
makes
Jeremy said here, this is what he said. I always thought that once a spirit crossed over, they go where they are supposed to go, and that's it. I heard recently about one spirit being crossed over multiple occasions, and that really confused him. I think
there's
you're crossed over once, and you have the ability to go back and forth.
yeah, it's like driving on the highway. You can drive here, drive there. Go where you want to go. But the thing is I think you have to cross over to heaven to be able to do that.
Yes, you have to
That's
go
I
to the
think that the
pearly gate.
reason, and I think that if people die and they don't go to heaven or terrified to go where they're supposed to go, I'm assuming if they're going to hell, they're not going to want to cross over. And that's why they get stuck here in limbo
Right.
until they feel like they are ready to cross over. Um, and I think maybe there's a time limit on that. I don't know because,
I think
I
they're
was
able to come down and stay for a while and then go back up and come right back down. But then we don't know how long their time frame is compared to our time frame because the spirit
one,
can be here and in a split second can be in California.
oh yeah, or at the same time,
Yeah, or be
even.
over the water.
So, one
But
of the things that Christopher Moon told me, this was years ago, he told me that my grandfather, the serial killer, was in heaven, but it took him a long time to get there, that he had to go to hell first, and he had to do his penance before he could come back. So, he had to do his time before he could go to heaven. And the thing is again, we don't know what that time is. I mean, I know when chronologically it happened in 1975
uh-huh.
that my dad died. My grandfather died in 1992, and
Mom, I miss
so
you.
oh yeah. The question is did it only take until 2012, 20 years for him to live out his penance?
Well, you got people that tell us that when you die and you haven't accepted Christ, that when you die, you still have the ability to accept Christ.
Right.
I don't know if I really believe that or not.
The question is did he accept Christ before he died?
And
Which
they
probably
say
he did.
no, but they're able to after they're dead. They're in limbo
Li-
out there, basically. But
Well,
if they
that's the
did
thing we
that,
don't know.
heaven's full. Because everybody, as soon as you die and go, whoop, I made the wrong mistake. I accept you.
So,
So,
but
but
like I
yeah,
said, my question is, after he went to jail for my dad, did he find God in jail and repent?
well, we'll bring this up from Pastor Gary. An unsaved person is not sent to hell until the great white throne judgment is after the 1,000 year reign of
Rain.
Christ.
Rain. I think he meant
So
rain.
he's not in hell, but he's not in heaven at the same time. He hasn't went to judgment yet.
But like I said, is that the case? I don't know it. Like I said, where is a few of the places that we always say people find God? They find God in the emergency room, jail, and you know, maybe he did
And on
find God,
deathbed in a hospital,
or
ER.
on his deathbed. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. I I can't even guess because of the fact that I never saw him again after the last time I saw him before my father was murdered.
Right.
Except for when he murdered my dad and I really wasn't
And he may
physically
have said
there.
it on his deathbed.
Yep.
Like you said, in prison, you never know
Right.
and stuff.
So I don't know anything. And I mean, I could ask. I mean, I could ask a cousin who may have been there because he was still close. My grandfather was still close to them. But again, it was a weird thing that he said to me because I'm
Hmm.
sitting there going, it's only been 20 years since he died, but it had been almost 20 years from when my dad was murdered to the time he died. So that's a lot of time to change your mind
Yeah.
or to ask for forgiveness. My grandfather was baptized as a child, but was he born again is a whole other issue.
Right. Well, it's like
So,
we always say, we can investigate everything, but the odds are we're never going to know the question until we pass away. That's just like you can hear spirits and see spirits. Your spirits don't tell you what happened after they died, do they?
no,
I don't think they're allowed to tell you that as
I don't
one of
think
the deals we're coming back.
yeah, I don't think well, you know what? Are some people that are psychic mediums and they tell you what the future holds. I'm not psychic, so I don't know. And way I see psychics is that
Hey,
they tell you, future predictions. But again, that changes based on what decision you make at that moment in time. So if I was a psychic and I'd tell, the only thing psychic I can be is I can tell somebody when I look at them what they're having, baby,
Right.
but that's not psychic. They're already pregnant.
Right.
That's already determined when they're pregnant, if it's a boy or a girl. That is a straight determination. But I can't, if I walk out the door and I go down to my car by going, right, what if I go left? Does that change my entire outlook on life?
Mm-mm.
But does it change the path that I took?
Yeah, it changes the
You
path you took, but
right. But
did
what
it
does it
lead you?
change?
Yeah.
What else did it change when I made this decision?
Well, it's just like
So,
earlier today, we started watching that show Manifest, where the people went on the airplane and it went through the storm, turbulent storm, and came out and landed, and they'd been gone for 5.5 years. And then 20 of them started hearing their own voice telling them stuff. Like the first one was the police officer, lady police officer, that said, turn them loose. Well, what she seen was two German shepherds behind a fence.
hmm
Okay. It's just like, you got to figure out when the spirits talk to you where and exactly what it means a lot of
right.
times.
Because
Her,
sometimes it's symbolism.
her and her brother, he heard the same message, let the dogs loose.
hmm
Well, come around as the show goes on, they had to take the dogs back to the owner, and she kept hearing, set them free, set them free. She went in and around and she found a locked door that had two little girls in it. That's, you see there where it goes. Set them
hmm
free, driving by the place. You see two dogs. Does that mean I let the dogs loose? No. It meant they had to be in there. The dogs were sitting in front of the door,
hmm
looking at her, and she seen the padlock on it and broke the padlock off and found the two little girls that the police were actually looking for at that time.
hmm.
So that just goes to show, and 20 of them on that plane have that ability now. They're trying to figure it out. It turned out to be an interesting show that we was watching.
It's kind of like another thing that we talked about last night. You know,
Is
just
that a?
because something says something, it's on Netflix, Ron.
Oh, okay, that's a show or
It
movie.
yeah, it was on TV. I don't know if it's still on TV,
It's
but
on Netflix. It's one of your
Yeah, I
newest
think you said something about that before.
newest one. It's a good show.
Yeah,
the thing is the way we hear things and the way we interpret it. One of the things we were saying last night, when something's telling you, you know, to go away, it could be, "Oh, go away," you know,
Hmm.
or "Go away, get the hell out,"
oh,
or,
why?
you know, it just depends on how inflection makes a difference. The way that you interpret it makes a difference. You know,
Exactly.
like you can
Well,
say, "I want to go," and that can be misinterpreted in all kinds of ways. Like if a spirit says, "I want to go," what are you going to think? They're wanting to go, that they're wanting to pass on or want to cross over. Maybe they just want to go. They want to go to the store. They want to go.
well,
They
the
want to
perfect
leave the place.
example of figuring it out what it means is when my mom came to you, okay, and you was down at Kingston getting ready to tell me, and I said, tell it in front of Pastor Gary and the sheriff because they knew my mom.
Hmm.
And you kept saying everything, but this word June kept, you don't know the month, whatever. And that's
Hmm.
when the sheriff's mouth dropped wide open. And Gary went, yeah, because Denise and Ron didn't know my mom's name was Lois June, and she
No.
went by June all the time.
Well, a lot of people don't go by their middle names. And I'm
Hmm.
one of the few people that recognize that because
Right.
I go by my middle
But
name.
you didn't, in that time frame, you didn't know what
Mm-mm.
June meant, whether it meant the month, which mom and dad were married in June, but with mom's name being by what everybody in the area, Kingston, knew her as, you know, yeah. So it's how you interpret what you hear and what you see. It's not exactly perceived, and then you got to download it in your head and go, okay, what did I see and what does it mean?
So you
Okay,
don't know. I mean, again, it's symbolism. It not only is it symbolism, it's interpretation, and that's what's really sucky about a lot of things. Like voting today, interpreting that stuff was horrible.
right.
So
We'll just block Ron up with this question. It blocks his whole screen up. When you were
Man.
mentioning about turning right instead of left, if that changes your outlook, here's a question. Do you believe that a new universe is created based on every possible decision being made? If you turn left, you continue with your universe, but different if you turn in another universe turns right.
the thing is there have been a lot of TV shows that have done that, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, but that goes along with how many universes are there? How many universes are on top of us? Do I believe that? I have to go and no. I just know that not unless God is playing with us. Back to another supernatural reference, but because
Yeah.
I
As
gotta
we've
go and
been
no.
told, God knows everything.
Hmm.
Yeah.
He even knows the decision, even though it's free will
Hmm.
decision you make. He
It's
knows if you come
all
up there, you're looking, going, okay, he's
it's
got a
all an
plan for
illusion.
either direction you go.
It's all an illusion.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
Everything is predestined, whether we believe it to be or not, unless there's some way to prove that it's not. So far, I haven't found a way to prove that all the things that have happened in my life weren't predestined. So I have to go with my grandfather killed my father for a reason, and I believe that it did make my life better. I know
Mm-hmm.
that sounds horrible to some people, but my parents weren't getting along. Was a horrible way of living at the time, and that I know that there was a reason for all this to happen. And if I didn't have that if I didn't have that in my head, my life would be horrible. But
Right.
I know that I was meant to marry my first husband, end up in Blytheville, Arkansas, meet Ron,
Live right
marry
across the
him,
street, yeah.
and here 40 years later, almost 40, we're still together, and there is a reason that that we met. I'm not supposed
Mhm.
to try to figure out why, but there was a reason I was meant to be in Blytheville, Arkansas. With me being from Baltimore and him being from Florissant, Missouri, there is no way
Well,
we would have run across each other any other
and,
way.
and
Right.
my roommate kept pointing her out because I didn't really notice her.
You didn't notice her at all?
Not really.
You want because I was married.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I,
Ron
I,
Ron wasn't going to look at me because I was married.
I, I,
And
I really didn't. He kept pointing her out. I was like,
Ron had a thing for
she's all
blonde-haired,
right.
blue-eyed women instead of this brunette,
Better what I got.
blue-eyed. So thank God I didn't have kids or smoke.
Oh,
yeah.
If I'd done either of those two things, he would
no.
never have even looked at me.
If you smoke, no way. That had nothing to do with it.
As the Pastor
So
Gary says, Denise, you chose to go your life the way you went.
That's true.
I did. I mean, all the the meeting Ron was just the way it was supposed to be. You know, everything went the way that God wanted me to go, and I believe that. So
And
so
that
and
when we actually met you, well, we had about half the neighborhood was together, and once we actually met you, me and
I was a
Mark,
different person then.
yeah,
Just
me and
keep that in
Mark,
mind.
we were walking back to the trailer. Yeah. I said, yeah. He goes, what do you think? And I said, about what? And he goes, oh, that girl across the street. And I said, yeah, she's all right. I mean, we both said at about the same time, well, I feel sorry for her husband.
Payback's a bitch.
Well, you can also look at it this way. Okay. Before Dust to Dawn came to the courthouse in Kingston
Right.
to do their paranormal investigation, me and Pastor Gary probably wouldn't have ever got into the paranormal. And we would have never met you guys.
Yeah.
Everything was led up from them coming there, getting into that, and then either they told me about your radio show or I stumbled across it looking up paranormal stuff. Then I started listening to
Charlie
Denise.
might have said something to you about it.
Who?
And we
Charlie.
went from there. It
Charlie
may have
didn't
took
know.
us 6 months
Oh, I didn't know
to
you had a
meet each
show?
other, but
Oh, I thought he did.
He didn't know until later on that I had a
Oh,
show.
okay.
I have a feeling that
Maybe
Carl
Jimmy
stumbled
said
across it
something.
because I
I got a
really
pretty feeling I stumbled across it, or you got to
Jimmy said
remember. No, I know I was listening to it before we started our team, I believe. I
Yeah.
won't
So
swear to it
so
I
was
think
it well the thing is
because I
we met
met
up with Dust to
Charles.
Dawn.
Well, yeah, we had no. It was after we started our team because when Charles was up there at the last investigation that Dust to Dawn did,
Yeah.
right? That's when um, they asked us to start our own team, right?
So
Jimmy
Yeah.
asked to start our own team. So maybe Charles told me that night and I didn't register it in my mind enough. He could have said, listen to this show.
He
he
just
might have,
started
but
with them.
he had just started with them when we went in April.
Yeah.
April
Which
of
is
2015, we went to Dust to Dawn to the jail.
yeah, it's another weird
So
thing.
it
He
is
just
possible
started
that you
with
did,
them.
yeah, because if you were watching anything Dust to Dawn with Rick Rose, period,
Mm-hmm.
you would have known about us because that was when we were on with Rick on the
Yeah.
live stream, and my show started about a week later, 2 weeks later actually, because It was April 3rd.
Oh,
That's when it
we
was. It was
were
April 3rd.
we were the last show on your first year. Was our first
So that
show
was
in your network.
December 2015.
Yep. And then the next one we had on there was like March or April. And then in August is when we met you guys at the Paracon.
So yeah, that was almost
Yeah,
a year and a half.
After we did the investigation with Rick at Sally House, as soon as he put that out there, it wasn't no time at all. That's when King called and asked you to do a radio show.
Yep.
Yep.
August. It was April 25th.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was about 3 weeks from the time that we were on
Yep.
with Rick
Yeah,
doing
it
the
was pretty fast.
investigation to when I started my show. So
Right. But yeah, you look at how all that, like you guys were talking about, you was married, moved to Blythe. Ron was in the Air Force, was stationed down there, and it was just meant to be like that.
mhm.
It's just meant to be that Pastor Gary was working as zoning commissioner at the courthouse when Dust to Dawn called, and they had to have somebody from the courthouse there with them because all the
Right.
doors
Mhm.
were open. We had access to every room in there.
Yep.
Yeah, Pastor Gary says it was the second time. It was the time before Charles showed up that they asked us to start our own team
Yep.
and stuff. But yeah, but that's how. Yeah, if folks learn how we all got together, that's how we all got together. It started from there.
Like I said, there's a path that we're supposed to follow. We may not see it, but
Yeah,
we're being led.
you guys got in the chat while you were listening. You got in the chat, and I kept telling Denise, I said, "Who does CCPT? Where are these guys out of?" I said because they ask really good questions.
Yeah, my main question all the time because we were still.
What
I
equipment?
seen Dust to Dawn's equipment they used, but I knew there was more equipment out there.
Right.
Because I can't hear them, I can't see them. I needed equipment, and yeah, that's why, as Denise put it, I think it was a month into your show that Carl is the number one question asker because I kept asking questions all the way
Right.
through her shows
Mhm.
and everything. And yeah, it went like that.
Yeah. I always knew what question when you weren't there. I always still asked your questions whether you were there or not.
Well,
Right.
and then
And
it took a while. I said find out where they're out of because I'd asked her a few times and you didn't.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe a few weeks later she finally asked, where are you guys out of? And
Mhm.
when you came back and said, we're like, wow, you're only about an hour and a half from us.
Exactly. And
I wasn't expecting that.
yeah. And
It's
then
like,
we had that Paracon down there in Sugar Creek
yeah,
where you guys were going to be set up. So we bought both days that day to go down and got down there. Of course, Dust to Dawn was there. And that was
Yeah.
a funny situation that we won't go into. But that's the day I met you guys. I
Yeah.
met Frank Bennett down there. I met Rick Rose down there. I
Yep.
met David Glidden down there.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Hurd.
Who else did I meet?
Josh Hurd.
Yeah, Josh was there.
You also met Dan Williams and
Yeah, that's the first time we met Dan.
and I think Scott.
Dan.
Yeah,
No,
Scott was there with.
I think I met Dan at the second one at the Masonic Lodge.
Yeah.
He was at the first one. Him
Oh.
and Scott and Dan's girlfriend at the time, who's
Yeah.
no longer with them.
Yeah.
And let's see, who else was there? Barry. You met Barry from
Mhm.
Four State Paranormal. John. He
Yep.
was there.
Yeah.
Let's
See,
see,
that's
who
where
else?
you talking
Hector.
about paranormal friendship started. It started on your show and it ended up at that Paracon. All those names I'd seen in your comments at one time or another or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that you talk about para unity. right there it is. And
And it's
stuff.
true para-unity because we're all hoping
We're
for the
all still
best for
friends.
everybody. Right. And we're
Yeah.
still hoping for everybody to have the best paranormal life they can. And we're not sitting there going, under our breath going, damn, what losers, or
Yeah. Or we're
can't
not
believe
the
they did that.
best, we're not the best out there,
I don't
we're not
care.
out there.
What
I'd
what I
afraid
care
to be
about.
have a TV show, to tell you the truth.
Oh,
Mm.
so would I, because then I couldn't say the stuff I want to say. Like the
Exactly.
flashlight trick is crap.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, and I want to be able to have my opinion. And the minute that I can't have my opinion, or I have to make things go some way that TV wants it to go, then I can't be really
I
me
don't want
anymore.
somebody telling me you got to make something happen, because if you don't, we're going to make it happen. That ain't going to play.
No.
No. And
You know.
and there are so many times that I am so happy for my friends that did make it to TV. That they got to do the stuff that they wanted to do.
Here, Tom Rowe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
no, I don't
does.
remember where he met you
It-
at, but
Oh, you want to know where you met us at, Tom? You met us at the Paranormal Conference there in Alton, Illinois, the very first Haunted Road Media Paracon.
that had to be it.
That was it. And from then
Oh, that's
on,
right, at the hotel. With
right,
Nick.
we didn't, because we didn't
Yeah,
really,
Nick.
we saw
No,
him
no,
at the,
Yeah, we saw him at the thing, but all the patches on his jacket and everything. I was like, wow, that took a lot of time to do all that. I was
yes, it does.
I was amazed by his jacket, and I had to
And-
ask him.
and his enthusiasm.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Nick Moulet has the best enthusiasm
Yeah.
out of anybody I know for everything he does.
Yeah, I said,
So-
asked him about his jacket and some of the patches, and he started talking. And man, we were out there, I don't know how long.
Right. So yeah,
Jeremy,
we saw
when
them.
you get a
at-
chance and you're coming out here, especially if you're going to Salina later on this year, you let us know.
We'll meet you in Kansas City.
Yeah,
I mean, Carl and
we're
us.
right in
We're
Kansas City.
equal,
We're just out 45 minutes north of Kansas City.
and we're 45 minutes south.
Right. So you'd be right in the middle of us.
We could
And
meet out at the
everything.
Legends or something. It's going right across 70. Meet at the Legends.
Gary pulled the cameras out of the cemetery because nothing except animals and the hunter coming out of the dark.
Yeah.
Why not? But so this is a good time to
Salina's out.
Yeah, okay. If it's out for
That's all right.
2023,
We'll do something better.
if you ever want to come out here and do something, Jeremy, we've
we'll
got
find something.
we've got places in St. Joe, Kansas City, everywhere to investigate.
Just give us enough time to get something figured out.
Speaking of
Yeah.
the cemetery, are we gonna do something? What do you want to do? Sunday afternoon?
Not this weekend. Did you see the
Not this weekend.
temperatures? Our
Nope.
temperatures are supposed to be in the 30s.
Yeah,
All for the high.
I know.
Plus, you're
Let's
looking
see.
at the
Thursday and then get cold.
Yeah. I don't know, since it's firearm deer season and there are going to be a lot of hunters out there.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
might-
they shouldn't be out in the afternoon. That's what I
they
said.
shouldn't be.
Of course, it gets dark at 2:00.
Well, they're back out there at 2:00 in the afternoon, ready to hunt the evening
I
time.
know.
But
Yeah, their
Ah.
high is only supposed to be 36 on Sunday.
yeah,
Yeah.
And on Saturday, 34 and 17.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Look at that whole week.
Yeah. Chance of frozen mix one day.
Yeah, tell you what, winter's coming early around here. We just went out of fall. We're getting ready for the start of winter.
Well, we
Well,
had
if it got
60
50
today.
at your place, Jeremy, I got news for you. It's 62 up here right now.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
60. It was 60 here and it's 57 down here now.
Right.
So, but
It
you
just
did put
poured
up the
rain.
thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Did it just pour rain, Ron?
Well, it rained.
It sprinkled
It came
up
down
here
pretty good
for a little bit.
I can't hear anything in their apartment. You know,
What
if the rain's
openings,
falling one way.
Denise? What openings do we have on Friday?
Friday we have a few. Um,
The
Oh,
later
let's
ones.
see. The later ones are booked.
Okay. How early is the
So
earliest one?
the earliest one is 5:15.
Okay.
So we got 5:15 and 6. Let me pull up the darn spreadsheet. Just without multiple monitors, I don't have as much space as I normally do.
I know you don't.
I do not like not having more than one monitor.
She hates not
Open.
being able to multitask the correct way.
That's right. I'm really good at multitasking, and I try not to do it during the show because so we have 5:15, 5:30. Somebody wants a really short time slot there. 6 o'clock and 6:30.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Good. Because tomorrow I talked to him today in the chat room, and he told me to get a hold of him tomorrow. Santiago
Yeah,
Sierra.
Santiago.
Yeah.
Santiago Cirillo. Yes,
He wants to
he
be
answered
on
back
there.
to me. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
answered
wants.
back to me on that, so I will get with him.
Okay, get with him and set that time up because he wanted the early. He would probably do his podcast later at that time, the way he does.
Yeah, he had told me that whatever he does, he has to do before 4:30 p.m. So, because I figured if necessary, we just figure out a time where we can pre-record
Right.
for a regular show. But yeah, I'll get with Santiago Cirillo, or you do. You know, if he answers you that fast, you know,
Yeah.
if he wants to, we can pre-record him if necessary.
Right.
So
I'll talk to him tomorrow before he goes live on his show at 2:30.
yeah, he's a fun guy. Like I said, he's the one that took the pictures of Tom
Hi, Vivian.
McNicholas. It was me, Ron, Tom McNicholas, Nick Moulet, and somebody else that will remain unnamed. But yeah, he's the one who took our picture, and we didn't even know who he was.
Oh, really?
I felt so bad that
And
you
if
know.
a lot of you out there don't know who he is, he's from The Walking Dead.
Yes,
He's one
he
of
was
the
on The Walking
characters
Dead.
in The Walking Dead.
Look up his IMDb because he's got a lot of credits
Oh,
to his name.
he's been in all kinds of movies and shows
Mm-hmm.
and getting ready to do his own production of shows. He's
Yep.
got some mini shorts out there right now.
And he's also an Army vet who
Yes.
gives back to his community in Nashville like you wouldn't believe.
Yes, he does.
He's actually taken some vets into his own home.
Uh-huh.
So, and
And you'll find him at a lot of the Comic-Cons. Oh, got a ripe one.
Then why do you think he came to me?
Why do you think he put that rear end up to you? He goes, "Yeah, you love me."
Yeah. No, don't beat on me.
Ruby.
So,
But
he can't hear you.
I know he can't.
So,
But yeah, people turn in December the 2nd and 3rd on the Bill of Rights Network and on Things Network at 5 p.m. Central Time. We're having the Born No Travel Required SuperCon. It's going to be a virtual Paracon. And we have some great speakers already signed up. We have some available spots still available.
And if you're a vendor, sign up
if you're
too.
a vendor and want to show your products, contact us. We'll put them up there.
And if you don't want to, I mean, if you just want to have us advertise for you, get us some information, and we'll get it up there. This is Christmas season.
Video of it, a minute or 2-minute video of it, and we'll pull it up in between the speakers and during or whatever we need to do.
Because everybody needs a break sometimes, and you need a break between the speakers, and it would be great for you guys to do that. And do I have a flyer that can be shared? We will. I'm working on it now. I've had a little bit of a family health issue that we've been dealing with, so I haven't had a chance to do that. But
Right.
and of
But
course, I'll tell you why I called it the no travel required, because it is completely and utterly the description of it. You don't have to travel. You can do it. I could have said from your sofa,
that's right.
SuperCon. And the reason I did not say Paracon and said SuperCon is because I really want it to be all things supernatural, not just paranormal. I want to see some Bigfoot people come on. I want to see some UFO people. I want to see anybody who wants to share something that's not your average ghost story. You
Right.
know, please reach out. I'd love to
Yeah.
hear your story. I live for these stories. And this is my only hobby is is ghost hunting. Everything else is grandkids, work, cooking, things like that. I want to hear something that's going to take me away. This is my Calgon. Of course, that just aged me some. I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows what Calgon take
I
me
know.
away
Take
is.
me away. Yeah.
So,
But
but
and this Paracon, what we tell you, but it's for everybody, but it's for veterans and helping veterans. We're going
mhm.
to have places during the whole 2 days up on the screen at different times of where you can donate to a local veteran organization. And these are
Yes.
going to be the smaller veteran organizations,
The
not
ones
your,
that are grateful for your
yeah,
$10. So
exactly. A
that's
one
what we're
time
doing
donation type thing or anything. But this is what this Paracon is going to be for.
for veterans by veterans.
Yep.
So and so far everybody has a tie. I mean, if you live in this country, you have a tie to a veteran somewhere. I don't know any family that never had a family member that didn't serve in the military.
It would actually be hard to find somebody that, if you go back, let's say 4 generations,
Right.
during that time of finding somebody that wasn't in a war. I mean, somewhere down the line, somebody was in there,
Yeah.
especially if you go back to the Civil War time. Yeah, you had a lot of families in there. A lot of families didn't go any further, but
Right. Yeah, but if you think about it, less than 1% serve. But yet, I know a lot of people that were in the military. I mean, I had, uncles and cousins.
yeah. Well,
It
you look
wasn't,
at right now. What do they say? There is 13 or 14 million veterans here in the United States,
yeah. I
and
ran
that's
into
the
a
ones that's
guy.
out of service.
I ran into a guy yesterday at Walmart. He was parking the cart. He had a Korean War or Korean veteran hat. I had to talk to him.
Oh yeah,
I said, "Oh, he was backing the cart in. He backed it in and pulled it back out, and then got it in there." And I said, "Wow, you drive that thing really good." And he goes, "Did I really?" He goes, "I didn't think I drove it very good at all." I said, "No." I said, "Those little carts are harder to drive than a car because they're so touchy."
right.
And he goes, "Really? You think I backed it in good?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "This is the only second time I rode one of these."
But yeah, but like we'll ask Ron this question since he couldn't hear us and talk to us during that first couple of questions came on. What is the place that you got the most experience from that you would want to go back to?
Oh, I I like Malvern Manor. It's consistent. We get stuff there all the time, and we usually get a lot of
Mhm.
evidence. Oh man, Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite places to go now.
And if you could go to any place again that you've ever been to, where would you want to go?
Probably Malvern.
Me and Denise came up with, I'd love to go back to Sally House one more time.
Really?
Just to see what has been brought in.
Well, that'd be the only difference.
Yeah, but it may be worse than what it was. We don't know. But I would love to go up one night and stay up there just to say, yeah, something else is here now, or there's nothing here. Because, we've investigated a whole bunch. You guys have investigated a whole bunch up there.
I just think after us going up, so many times that, whatever's in, they just knew who we were, and
It was.
it had to be because I didn't seem bothered by the more we went up there, and I had a lot of people when we were doing tours. They said, "Doesn't this stuff scare you?" And I said, "Not really." I said, "It's like the more you know, or the more we find out, the less scared you are."
Yeah.
The
Well,
less
that's like
afraid.
on Brandon's show the other night. He had Dark Horse Paranormal on there, and they were talking about how they came across putting two spirit boxes together and call it dueling spirit boxes.
Yeah.
I said, well, me and Ron was at the Sally House by accident.
Yep.
Both had echo boxes going along and speakers out listening, and they started talking to each other.
Yeah.
So we called it dueling echo box.
Yeah.
And they said, really? And I went, yeah. And we do that just about any time we go investigating, just to see if it'll work again, because it's hilarious to listen to them talk to each other.
Sometimes they would talk to each other, and other times, if somebody was asking questions, they'd answer the same.
Exactly. Exactly. And that was, and we did a lot of that at the Sally House.
Oh yeah.
Or have them all, one upstairs, one on the main floor, and one in the basement, all have echo boxes, and all three heard the same answer at the same time.
Yep.
We've had that happen. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a bit. But if you have any more questions in the chat room, please ask. We got about 17 more minutes left on here before I go to the other show. And Tom goes, he'd like to visit the Sally House. We could do that if Tom and Nick come down. That or go do the, what's the one in St. Joe?
Oh, Beatty?
Beatty.
Yeah, we've never been there.
I think that would be an interesting one to try out sometime.
Tell you that McIntyre is a pretty good place too. We were up there, I don't know, was back in May, and quit a cat. Yeah, we were up. I think it was in May or June, and it was pretty active. It was more than I thought it would be.
Right.
But we didn't even think about driving even by the Sally House or nothing. I mean, that's how we just don't even think about it.
Well, that day that we met you guys and had lunch in Atchison, when you went to there, me and Gary drove by the Sally House.
Oh, did you?
Didn't feel a thing. Stopped out in front of it and kind of looked at it and went, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, McIntyre's it's in Atchison.
Right. And then Jeremy wants to get all of us into the Masonic Temple in Salina.
Yeah, if we do a group investigation again, I think we either do McIntyre or Beatty. But if it's in the winter, I'd recommend doing McIntyre because
it has heat.
Yeah, it has heat.
Yeah.
We've been
I
to
don't,
places that don't have heat.
Oh yeah.
and we spend a lot of time sitting in the room that does have heat.
So I
So-
tell you what, when it's really, really cold and it's really active, you don't feel the cold.
No, you don't.
You
Your
don't.
adrenaline gets
Oh
to-
yeah. It
And
kicks
just so
in.
you know, they do get cold too, and they get into your sleeping bag with you,
yeah.
the spirits.
And
So just
especially
be
if you
aware.
leave a window open and it snows in there.
Actually, we didn't even know until the next day, which is even
know.
worse.
That was funny when you guys got up next morning and go, it snowed in our room, and I went,
Well, I
looks
kept
over
thinking,
it.
I was like, man, I know it snowed last night, but I was like, why is it so cold in here? I mean, it's really cold.
Gary,
Yeah,
what do you
and-
mean? Where's that at? He put in there, where's that at,
I
Ron?
think he's talking about McAteer. When I asked
McAteer's in Atchison.
Atchison, and then the Beatty's
Beatty's
in
in St. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy says, if you're cold, ghosts are cold, let them in.
Yes. And like I said, found that out firsthand when I was getting spooned by one at the lovely Malvern Manor. So,
Mhm.
uh,
Oh, I
and the
mean,
thing is, he didn't have two legs, so that was even worse. You know, feel that
Oh.
stub. It's like, is that your half a leg, or are you happy to see me?
well, you look how cold it got out at the cemetery when we camped out.
Oh man, it was.
70 and
Well, the
then
bad thing
22.
is in the 70s.
Yeah, it
That
was about
whole
72 degrees that afternoon. Beautiful. And it wasn't bad 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. You could warm up by the fire we had out
Yeah.
there and go out and investigate for a while and come back and warm up.
Yep.
But when we got up that next morning, whoa, Lordy.
We had
Yep.
ice crystals
What was it,
everywhere.
22, 24?
Yeah, and
Yep.
like 30-mile-an-hour winds at least.
Yeah.
And what's
I
bad
remember-
is we had just bought the car and it had those tire sensors on it, and all of a sudden it's telling us we need air, and there's
Yeah.
no gas stations anywhere.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
I mean, it didn't take me long when I climbed out of that tent, throw wood on those coals and get that fire going. I was like, cup of coffee real quick.
Yeah.
And that one night, that the other time we went, it was still cold in the morning, and it rained, and the coals still kept going. You guys had such a good fire that rain didn't slow it down.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fire pit was amazing. It really was.
It was really good.
Just take a center out of an old drum.
Which
Take all
reminds
the
me, Ron,
plastic off of it.
they have a smokeless fire pit at the wholesale club, like the ones that like the Solo stove,
Yeah.
for $250 on clearance
Really?
right now.
That's clearance?
That's clearance. It was $350.
Oh
Right.
man.
So
Yeah, those
I'm
smokeless
watching it.
ones are nice. Denise froze up.
Yep.
Now you know what it looks like when she freezes up. Now's
well,
when you-
yours was pretty close to that.
Oh, was it?
What? Oh, the one that you had wasn't too bad on the smoke, but I mean, we still had smoke.
Oh,
It
yeah,
helped
it-
that it was going out through the dryer drum a
Right.
Yeah.
little bit. So,
But it held the fire in was the important part. We didn't burn the timber down.
yeah, it's the enamel. I think the enamel on that helped a lot, and that we could put a grate across there, and we had boiling water. All we wanted.
We had boiling water. We had coffee. We had hot,
Hot
dogs.
dogs.
We had
marshmallows.
everything. Yep.
We had ghost marshmallows. Tell me how lucky we are.
Oh, yeah. We bring air pumps with us too, Tom. I'm not blowing
We
up
don't.
an air mattress, blowing into it. That ain't happening.
No, we don't even do that. We have a foam bed. We just roll it out and we're done. So,
Yep.
but yeah, it's you miss that kind of stuff when you have all kinds of crap going on. I still haven't heard from the kids, and they've been gone
No.
over 3 hours.
Really?
So, yeah.
You may have to call them here in a few minutes.
I'll
Yeah,
message
give
him.
an update.
So I just need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So,
Let me
well,
know.
not only that, if not that, I still need to go home. We need to eat. So maybe stopping at
Yeah.
McDonald's on the way to get Ruby something. But
All right.
I have food for
Right.
us. But yeah,
That's
guys,
good.
if you want to
Do
be
while you're
part of the
gone.
Born, yeah, if you want to be part of the Born No Travel Required SuperCon on September 2nd or December 2nd and 3rd, reach out, let us know. I'll get you booked. And even if you've never spoke at an event, this is a time to do that. And we do have if we book everything, we have overflow on Saturday night.
Right.
So if you just want to come on and talk about stuff, but I think it's going
And
to be fun.
if you don't want to be on there, remember to ask questions in the chat room when you're watching it, because the people talking will answer your questions. And at the end of every day, the last hour, we're having a super panel of everybody that's been on during the day, plus all of us are on there. And we'll be asking questions, and the people in the chat room ask questions.
And if you don't ask questions, you got to put up with me asking really stupid questions, because we're going to ask things like, what color underwear do you wear when you investigate? That was what you're going to be subject to if you don't ask questions. It's going to be silly questions. You're going to learn more about these panelists than you've ever learned from them before.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we're going to. We're going to
I'm
have
going to
fun
embarrass
with
some
it.
of them. Yep. And David Glidden, it's open season.
Oh, yeah. Him and KD, it's open season.
Katie's the next night, so
Yeah.
they're different nights, but yep, you
Yeah.
guys are. It's going to be fun, and it'll be more fun the more people get involved. And I think we'll just make it the best thing we can do for you guys. And you know what? If you can't be there live, watch it in replay. Check out the vendors. Check out the charities that we're going to be highlighting, and still ask your questions. I'll get them to the people that they're meant for, and we'll get your answers. I promise.
Tim
Right.
says whitey tidies.
That's what Tim wears.
I was gonna say you could ask them. You might not get the answer you really want. They may say,
I know.
"I don't wear underwear."
Well, you know what? We can also play matchmaker, because some people like that. So
Yeah, wear brown underwear.
Let's wear brown
Scary.
underwear if you scare easy.
You know, I don't even know if they make brown underwear. I've never even looked to see if they make brown underwear, but at least for women, they always make bright cheery colors for women and white. So
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, check it out and all that. And you know what? Next week we have a really great guest coming on. We have Nick Simons from 28 Days Haunted. He's up there in Iowa, and sarcasm will be the name of the day. And don't ever, never play Cards Against Humanity with him and expect not to have to go to the bathroom because you're laughing so hard.
Yeah.
So he is great at the game, and we had a lot of fun with him. So I think that, Carl, you're going to really enjoy meeting Nick. And
Yeah, you like it.
Yeah, I met him at
you probably met him at the Kansas City Paracon.
down there where we
So,
had it in the bad part of town.
yeah, we got to. Well, I had him on my show with Aaron a few years ago, in 2019, and we went down to the Dog Patch Paracon, and the only Paracon that was even worse attendance than some of the others we've been to. And but you know what? We got to spend time with people that we don't usually get to spend time with, and that was the biggest thing.
And that's a lot of times that's what a Paracon is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Paracon teams and paranormal people, you get to see people you haven't seen in a year or more.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got to finally introduce Ron to Gavin Kelly and Paula, and poor Paula had food poisoning.
Oh my gosh,
She was so sick,
poor girl.
and
Well,
and
you look at how many times I've seen Mike and Susan in the chat room, and I finally
Mhm.
got to meet them in Joplin.
Yeah.
mhm.
You know, that was fantastic.
And what do? They hand me their newly won spirit box,
Ink
ink
box.
box,
Yeah.
to take out there. They hadn't even used it yet. I didn't even know if it had batteries, Rick. And then I never even turned it on.
Right. Well, the nice thing
So
about these ink boxes, you don't have to put batteries in them.
yeah. Hey Lisa, we hope you're doing well. I
Yeah,
hope you're
Lisa.
she's still recovering from her knee injury.
Right.
So Ron, I didn't know if Ron knew that that's her last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I saw that Caitlin was in here earlier. I don't
Yeah.
know if she still
Okay.
is. So, but yep, we got 4 minutes left.
Right.
So join us
And who do
next
you
week.
got on? Who do you got on Monday night?
Heidi Powell,
Oh, Heidi Powell.
local psychic medium. Uh, I
I
think
was
she
gonna
also
say.
does tarot cards.
I was gonna say
And so
4 minutes. It's
yeah, we're
7
going.
o'clock already, but no, you got the other ones are coming in earlier.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeremy.
So yeah, we're doing Heidi Powell, and she also wants to be part of the Paracon. So I'm going to get her scheduled, and
Okay.
I think it would be fun for a couple people maybe to get readings during the show. You
Yeah, it
know,
would be. That would be great.
and if she decides that she wants to do that, I'll get some people scheduled for her. And not tell her who they are.
Right.
But that would be fun. And if you guys have guests that you'd like to see on any of our shows, let me know, because based on what the topic is how I book them. You know, it works out. And we have other shows. If you think we got guests that would be great for another show, I can recommend them to the other show
We've got
hosts.
shows that deal with music and movies. We got a show that deals with if you want to learn to play a guitar or piano. We got a political show. We've got the Second Amendment
A
rant
political
for
show,
gun rights. Huh? Do
a
what?
political show, just one.
Well, we got actually we got three political shows, but anyway, but we got that. We got uh right now I think we're running one, two, three, four, five paranormal shows on the network right now.
Yep. And like I
So
said, you guys have any ideas of people you'd like to see, let us know. And like I said, we'll get it to the right person to do the interview. I guarantee it. And
we
I am
even got a
becoming.
show where we're doing model kits
Yep.
that
Yep.
people are into that.
Yeah, I want
And
to
I'm
let.
starting to feel like the program director.
Yeah, I want to let
Denise is doing a fantastic job, and I can't thank her enough. She has helped out so much over here.
I want to let Lisa know. Go Cowboys this weekend. That's who I got my money on.
Right. Hi, Irene. And Irene, thank you for joining me to your uh, paranormal group over in Japan. She sent me an invite. If
Oh,
you'd
really?
like,
Oh, that was very
Irene,
nice.
if you want us to do this show on
Around
that
here in a while.
space there, contact me and add me as a moderator or something on that page, and we can go live over in Japan on there too.
From political to
Jer-
paranormal.
Jeremy, it's quite possible that I've taken over the network, but we're not telling Carl that.
Yeah,
We're just not telling him.
they're just letting me sit here. But, well, no, our network, we put any show on here. It's
Yeah,
called
it's all
freedom of
kinds of
speech.
stuff.
So, from paranormal to politics to putting model kits together to ranting and raving.
Actually, that's what we should call it. From your network is from paranormal to politics, or politics to paranormal. That way it covers almost everything in between.
Yeah, we might do that.
That's an advertisement right there.
Thank you,
So
Jeremy.
when we talk about, so if you were going to take it from the people, I mean, this one got its name from two different people. Paranormal Nation Radio came from Ken Deal, and Not So Normal came from Julie. Wasn't it Julie?
Yeah.
Out of Australia.
Yep.
And so there you go. There you go. The P2P network.
Yeah.
That could be
That could
misconstrued.
be different. Yeah. P2P. Yeah. That's the breaks in between the shows.
Yeah, like I said, that could really get us in trouble. So,
Grandma,
oh,
But
I
anyway,
see.
folks, we're going to get off here. I want to thank everybody in the chat room tonight. You've been fantastic. We love you all. And we got a show coming on here in a half-hour conservative view that we're going to cover the midterm elections in the United States until we get confirmation on each one of them. You may see us live by 8 o'clock in the morning still. You don't know. But you can find us over on the Bill of Rights Network. So check out all the shows over there. And we will see you next week here on Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. Have a good night.
See ya.